Hi, and welcome to day 3 of the 5-day Makeover Challenge. I'm Dr. Michelle Pedicola, and today we're going to look at blocks and barriers. Now, you might recall from yesterday that Michelle identified one of her barriers, which was not being perfect enough. That is, that she couldn't move forward because she believed that in order to get better health, she had to go off to the gym for 2 or 3 hours instead of just walking around the block. And so as long as she had this big expectation, oh, I've got to get it perfect, she was holding herself back. On the worksheet, there are a number of choices for you to make. Go ahead and circle all that apply. Awareness is the first step. I see these blocks and barriers as basically 2 forms. There is the external, that is, things are not right with the universe, so that's why I cannot move forward. Or they're internal, I'm not good enough, I'm inadequate, I'm damaged, that's why I can't move forward. Both of them are inside jobs. Let's look at the external first. So some of the things that we use to justify why we're not moving forward is not enough time, not enough money, not enough education, responsibilities. I'm responsible for my children, my husband, other people need my help, my parents, whatever. As long as it's external, you're off the hook because you can't do anything about it. You have to wait until it gets better, and you can wait until you die. The reality is that you have control over all of those, even money. Maybe you get sick. That's another really good excuse, one that we often learn early in our childhood, is that when things get difficult, we get sick, and now we have an excuse. Even adults, you show up, you have some event you have to go to, you get sick because you're too afraid. That's what fear does to you, is it makes you come up with a really perfect excuse. I had another friend, every time she had a big event, she would get into an argument with her spouse, and then it would totally trash her performance. We set that up so that we have an excuse for our failure. I'm inviting you to, right now, identify what your patterns are. The first step to change is awareness. Now, the other pattern is the internal. I'm not good enough. I'm too damaged. I'm helpless. I'm hopeless. I can't do it. I'm too old. I'm too young. This is also an inside job. It's a mindset. And it's the inner child protecting you. All these patterns come from early childhood when we were at risk, dependent upon our parents for our survival. And we develop patterns that would keep us safe. And they are so ingrained and so unconscious that they show up and we don't even realize that they're an inside job. So I recently had an experience of that myself. I have this belief that when it comes to creativity, that I'm not good enough. I had 2 older sisters. I had a mother who was an artist. And so I would become helpless, the damsel in distress, so that I could invite the hero to save me. And by the way, being a hero is very seductive. I've certainly played that game too. So here I was working on a new website, and I asked my husband for help. But he is the perfect person for me to make changes because he just criticized me and I just went down into the rabbit hole of despair and I couldn't move forward. And finally, I realized, I know that he's here to wake me up. I went deep and I realized I'm going to work this out myself because the other pattern of getting him to save me is not going to work. In fact, he is not going to play hero for me. Perfect. I broke through it and I was able to work on my website. What you need to do to break through your barriers is to take action. And that's going to show up what your real barriers are, what your real problems are. Awareness is the key, and taking action is the other key. That's all I have for today. Come back tomorrow when we talk about the vision. The vision is going to help you to get through your blocks and barriers, to have the impetus to move forward. Don't forget to come to the Facebook Live question and answer session so that you can have your questions answered. That's all for today. Be brilliant.